All right, now the moment has arrived. Our top 10 movies of the year. Hope you don't mind. We're going to have to reference our notes for this one. But before we get into our top 10 movies, Nate, is there a movie like you thought would make it to your top 10? It's not disappointment, but just it kind of broke your heart to leave it out of your top 10.
Yeah, there was actually, and it's sort of, I think it's because I saw it so recently that it slipped my mind, or I couldn't really find a place for it in there, but I have to give a shout out to 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I think that movie was so great, and I think a lot of people would be like, Nate, why did you leave that off your list? So I do wish I could have found a place on my list for that movie, because it was fantastic. I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it is.
What about you?
Yeah, that one did sneak into my top 10. The one that, there are 3 movies walking into this year, I was like, they're going to be in my top 10 just based on pedigree. One was Last Jedi, which made the list. Baby Driver, which made the list. But the one that surprisingly didn't make it was Dunkirk.
Ah, you were super pumped.
Oh, super pumped.
That was your number one last year. You were looking forward to.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was Baby Driver. I was really close to picking Dunkirk, but it was Baby Driver. And Dunkirk was just probably the technically the most masterful filmmaking of this year. And I'm talking about a movie where we saw Blade Runner 2049, The Shape of Water, all brilliantly technical movies. But this movie is the most immersive filmmaking experience ever. My one problem with it, and still a problem today, is there's no real story. There's no through line. Mm-hmm. It's not exactly a fault, but it's just something that I wanted out of the movie and I didn't get. And it was really close. It was my 11th movie, but just didn't make the top 10.
Yeah.
So having said that, Nate, why don't you just go ahead, give me your 10 through 6.
Yeah.
Quick little note about each one of them.
Sure. So 10 through 6 here. Number 10, Get Out. I underrated this movie big time. This was a great movie of 2017, so go check out Get Out. Number 9, Wonder Woman. Kind of a surprise to me, DC's redeeming movie.
Yes.
I really enjoyed Wonder Woman. Really, that was kind of a surprise for me. Number 8, John Wick Chapter 2. I mean, come on, this movie was just badass.
Yeah.
Love the first one, love the second one. Can't wait for the third one. Number 7, War for the Planet of the Apes. Just a technical masterpiece with this thing, the special effects they did in this movie. And it just gave the trilogy closure that it needed.
Exactly.
Number 6, The Last Jedi. Made the list, definitely. A little bit higher on the list, actually. I really enjoyed The Last Jedi. I know there's a lot of controversy around it, but I think all in all, this is a different, fun, unique Star Wars movie. So, but go ahead, yeah. What about you?
Number 10, I have The Big Sick. Very funny, very heartfelt movie. A lot of relatability to it. Ray Romano's fantastic in it.
Yeah,
Number 9, I have The Last Jedi. Great movie, technically sound, start to finish. I did have some problems with it, but I like that people are talking about it, at least. Yeah. It's not one of those movies come out universally loved and all you do is laud over it. I like that there's some debate over the decisions that they made.
Yeah.
Number 8, I have War for the Planet of the Apes. Once, like you said, great way to finish out the trilogy. And it's really one of the best trilogies of all time.
Yeah, very consistent.
Yeah, definitely. At number 7, I have Your Omission, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. That movie was very funny, very dramatic, and just great performances. And at number 6, I have the one that just broke my heart to leave out of my top 5, and that's It. Yeah. What a great horror movie that was. What a great Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah.
But having said that, let's just go right into our top 5. We're going to take some time to talk about this one. Your 5 is actually my number 2, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, and that's The Disaster Artist.
What a great movie this turned out to be.
This year really closed out strong. There was a lot of movies right in a row that just came out that I was happy to see. And a lot of them made the list. The Disaster Artist is one we've been looking forward to for years and years. Yeah. And it did not disappoint. This movie is funny, it's heartfelt, and it's interesting to see this terrible movie be made.
Yeah, this could have easily been kind of a Hollywood parody. Mm-hmm. James Franco could have played Tommy Wiseau as more like a caricature.
Yeah.
But this movie was very heartfelt. This movie was more about friendship and just 2 people having a common dream, building a friendship around that, no matter how different they are.
Yeah.
And I think that this was a very fulfilling movie. And hats off to James Franco for directing, producing, starring. Tommy Wiseau'd it, but he just was that much better of a performer.
And I don't know if he deserves the Oscar, but I think he deserves a nomination.
Oh, he deserves a nod for sure.
Yeah. All right, but on to your number 5. What's your number 5 on your list?
Yeah, my number 5 was in your top 10, and that's Get Out. What a great movie this turned out to be. And once again, we both admit we totally underrated this movie. I gave it a 7.5, gave it a 6.5.
I was thinking about just doing another review and being like, sorry guys, you need to underrate this one.
Right, I'd probably give it a 9. I just rewatched it the other day. I'm like, wow. And just what a surprise from a comedy sketch writer to make one of the most thought-provoking and talked about and just quality made sci-fi horror comedy if you're in the Hollywood Foreign Press. Yeah. But just what a great movie. And I'm glad that, once again, it's a movie people are talking about.
Yeah, it's a necessary movie, and I think that it does, bring up a lot of important questions.
Yeah. But on to your number 4. It was my number 6. Broke my heart to cut it out, but your number 4? It.
What a journey and fun, scary ride this movie was. Just the performance for the actor that played It was so good. The kids were so good. This was the book adaptation of It that I wanted, and they nailed it.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that in the book they go back and forth from their kids, their adults, their kids, their adults. I'm glad that they just cut it right down in the middle. Start with the kids. Love these characters, so then when they come back in 30 years, you have something to build upon, some people to root for, and I hope that they just get an all-star cast for the sequel.
I mean, I really think that just knowing the success and how well made it was, I feel like there are going to be actors that will want to be a part of this, because, I mean, it made, like, the most money any horror movie has ever made.
Yeah, it's a big success, critically and commercially, so I think it will attract some big names to it.
I agree. So,
my number 4, The Shape of Water. I just saw this movie the other day, and we constantly talk about whatever movie that was shot by Roger Deakins comes out. It's like, we know Roger Deakins is going to get nominated, but what movie is going to screw him out of the Oscar? I think The Shape of Water is going to do it this year.
Yeah.
But just top to bottom, what a great movie. It's a great throwback to kind of classic era Hollywood. It takes place in the 60s, and a lot of sci-fi elements, like it's kind of Twilight Zone-ish, Creature from the Black Lagoon, which was very intentional, admitted by Guillermo del Toro, the director. But I think this is not only just one of the best technically made movies of the year, I think this is hands down the most well-acted movie of the year.
Wow.
I mean, from Sally Hawkins to Octavia Spencer, Michael Shannon, Michael Stolberg, Richard Jenkins, everyone in this movie is great. And I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for you to see it. We'll just skip your number 3 because it's my number 1. I know we want to talk more in depth about our number 1. So let's just jump up to your number 2.
Yeah. Number 2 is Blade Runner 2049, man. This thing blew my mind. I couldn't believe what I was watching on the screen. It's a feast for the eyes. It's a technical masterpiece. And I just think it's perfectly shot. I think it's so well acted. I'm not the hugest fan of the first one. I'm really not. But when I sat down to watch this movie, I was mesmerized by what I was seeing.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how this movie is 45 minutes longer than the original, but it feels an hour faster than the original.
It does, yeah.
It's much better paced, and I think that, especially with the recent Alien Covenant movie, like I think this is a good thing for Ridley Scott to do as far as returning to his old properties. Produce them. Find a great director. Let them do the rest.
Right, and he picked the perfect visual director.
Oh yeah,
for this movie.
Denis Villeneuve. And once again, Roger Deakins probably get nominated for cinematography for this one. Probably get screwed again.
I haven't seen The Shape of Water or Dunkirk, but man, I feel like he deserves this.
I totally do too. Like I walked out of Shape of Water. Like if Deakins gets screwed by that movie, I understand. I still don't like it. So Nate, let's go ahead and reveal your favorite movie of 2017. It was my 3rd.
Yeah.
But why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what you like the most out of this year?
I mean, if you haven't figured it out yet, it's Logan, of course. Logan was so good. And I didn't get a chance to even review Logan because I was on vacation. You reviewed it with a guest reviewer. But this movie was everything I wanted out of a Wolverine movie, finally. It was violent. It was heartfelt. It was like a gritty, Western, broken man type of story. And I was blown away by Logan. I don't know. I can't say enough about it. And then I got the Blu-ray and the black and white version, super cool too. Then it's all old school black and white, and I don't know, I could gush about this movie forever. I really, really enjoyed this movie. What about you?
Yeah, Logan was my number 3. What a great movie. And like I said about the New Mutants, I love that with Fox and the X-Men universe, they're going in different directions. They're trying to be the alternative.
Yeah.
Instead of the competition. They're not trying to replicate the Disney Marvel model. They're like, screw it. Let's give them something different. Let's give them something new.
Yeah, stories. Stories from these characters.
And exactly, that's what I loved about this. The story, it was so contained, and it wasn't like this big, expanding comic book movie like we get, 3-4 times a year. It was a Western, kind of neo-noir with comic book characters.
Yep.
What a great movie.
What a send-off for Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect way to end his career as
This is
Wolverine.
a swan song of just being like, I'm out. And it was perfect. I love this movie so much. But let's go to your number 1.
Which was your number 3. It's my number 1 of the first half of 2017. Still my number 1 of 2017. And that's Baby Driver.
Yeah.
I mean, just stylistically, technically, acting, writing, directing, the incredible soundtrack. Just everything in this movie is top notch.
Yeah, I think that out of all the movies we chose here, I feel like Baby Driver is like a filmmaker's dream. Like, this is the movie a filmmaker wants to watch for how to make a movie, how to make pacing, transitions, like dialogue. All of it's just so tight and awesomely done.
Right, and in some movies where directors are like, all right, well, we need something to mask the sound editing, throw a song in the background. Like, Edgar Wright uses the soundtrack like blood for the movie. It just pumps throughout the whole movie, gives it a pulse, gives it its own vibe, and it's the most unique, most stylistic, unique movie of 2017, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Fantastic movie.
Buffs.
All right, so that's our 2017 year-end wrap-up. What did you guys think of the movies in 2017, and what are you looking forward to in 2018? Leave all your comments down below. And once again, throughout this year, we just appreciate all the support. You guys have been so fantastic to us, and we're going to be bringing you so much more content.
Oh, yeah. In 2018, of course, we're going to bring you a new movie review every week. We're also going to have film discussions. We're going to be moving into a new studio soon, so we'll have a lot of new content with that. Not to mention, we got a new Wes Anderson movie coming out in March, so we're going to review every single one of them leading up to that. So we'll bring you reviews every week, but until then, don't you guys forget,
there's no place like the theater.